My name is Frank Huerta. I play Eddie and GAZER, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.
Guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So I am so excited to be joined by today's guest. Today I am talking to Frank Huerta about his new film, Gazer, where he plays the character Eddie, amongst other things. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Frank.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man. I'm really excited to talk to you. I always like to kind of start things off for people, especially, first time guests. Just what was it about? I guess like where did you kind of fall in love with film and acting in the first place? And how did you all kind of get started, I guess, in the first place as well?
Honestly, it was a series of accidents.
Sometimes those are the best, situations.
Dude, I was in college and I started modeling by accident because I went with a roommate. We were going to the beach, but he had like a casting, and then his manager started working with me. Then from there, my agent in New York wanted me to try acting classes. And then as soon as I got into an acting class, my life changed. I was like, this is what I was born to do. And then I just never looked back.
That that's
All
awesome.
complete series of accidents, dude. Like, did not plan it at all.
Yeah, no, like I said, sometimes those happy accidents, it's just like, yeah, you just like you said, it was meant to, meant to be. This is what you're, always meant to do. Now,
100%.
do you have like, as far as like growing up, did you have any kind of like favorite, films or series that you like to watch?
Absolutely. I've always been into really the older films. So you got, actors like Humphrey Bogart or Robert Redford, uh, Marlon
Legends.
Brando. Yeah, dude, like films like Casablanca, all the older films. And then like later started really digging like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, obviously. I like those like crime dramas. I'm really
Yep.
into
That's right. So a lot of the heavy hitters sort of like you're a fan of like films like The Godfather and stuff
Oh,
like that as
absolutely.
well.
I think that's like the best written movie,
Yeah.
like
I
as far
mean,
as like writing.
yeah, you'll find, I'm
Acting
pretty
has
sure
gotten crazy. Yeah.
you'll find those at the top of a lot of people's, top five, top 10 like films
Yeah.
of all time for sure. So I mean, some pretty good picks there. Now, do you have like as far as like, current actors? I mean, I know like Robert De Niro and stuff like they're still acting, but do you have anybody that you kind of look at now and there's someone that you kind of like you're inspired by as far as like your career goes as well?
Dude, I'm inspired by a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of really great films coming out, and have come out, just in the last 10, 15 years, and like super cool work. I like Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah.
I like the
He
stuff.
was great in the
I
Fall
like
Guy.
how, yeah, dude, yeah, I want to watch that. Like, I like how he like shifted into like a lot of action stuff because I like that kind of genre.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
and
where I want to get to one day.
that like more like the action based stuff.
Oh yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah, I thought I saw on your like IMDb too. There was like you were credited for like some like stunt work. It was like one of
Yeah,
your
it was
projects.
actually cool. I did this episode of Blue Bloods, and the only thing is that they cut the scene because that happens sometimes.
Yep. Yep.
But I got to do like a full-on fight on set
But
there.
that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty cool that you got to. That was like one of your
Yeah,
first things too, and you got to do like a full
and
on
I got to do it
fight.
right
So
away.
doesn't
Yeah.
happen too often, especially when it
No, it
comes
doesn't.
to stunts. So was it
And I
after kind
took
of?
to it really naturally, which was what surprised everyone. Like they didn't think we would be able to do it because I didn't have any training.
Yeah,
Like I had a stunt double to do the scene for me, and he never had to step in.
that's pretty wild. So
Yeah,
after kind of that experience, was it something where you're like, oh, I'd love to do kind of more of this in the future?
totally. After that, I was like, dude, I could totally be doing my own stunts, like and cool ones.
And I feel like we're kind of starting to see like a resurgence of some of those like action films now. Because there was
I
like a
think so.
period where didn't like see quite as many of them. You had like the 80s and 90s where you had a bunch of them coming out, but there was like a little bit of a lull. But it seems like we're starting to see more of those. And I know you said you haven't had a chance to see it yet, but if you're a fan of action and stunts, I think you'll definitely dig the Fall Guy when you get a
The Fall
chance
Guy?
to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. I will definitely. So because I feel like the superhero thing is kind of phasing out, and there's still like a market for like kind of that like feeling of like, action stuff. So I
Yeah.
think that's why it's coming back too.
For sure, yeah. And I mean the cool thing nowadays too is like, in the past, a lot of times you just had like, theatrical or like home video for releases for films and stuff like that. But nowadays with all the different streaming sites, there's just so many different opportunities to do all kinds of different projects. So I
Totally.
think that's, it's really cool for, for you guys just to kind of to step into all kinds of different genres and stuff like that. And Frank, I wanted to ask you about your film Gazer that's coming out that's going to be premiering soon at the Cannes Film Festival. So you
Yep.
play Eddie in the film. What
Yes.
was it about the script and the role that attracted you to the project in the first place?
Well, believe it or not, this is a project that my buddies made. Me and my buddies made. We made this 3 years ago with like little to no money. Um, we did the work, but we didn't really ever think that it got would get as far as it got. Like the dream is to literally get your film into Cannes Film Festival. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the dream. So you expect something a little lower. Um, but it's actually a really cool story. So essentially, and I'll give you the quick pitch, but it's about a girl who has a rare mental disease where she has like no short-term memory. So she uses video cassettes. I don't know if you remember video
Oh
cassettes.
yeah. Yep.
And to record what she did yesterday, but she might have murdered someone, and then people are looking for her, but she can't remember it, but she's kind of getting the feeling of it, and then she has to escape town, leave town with her daughter.
Okay. I mean, this sounds like a really cool like
But
idea.
it's really cool. It's a really cool movie. Honestly, the script is like fantastic.
And so, and like you said, you guys, it was kind of just like you and your friends, you're all, all put this together. How long did it take you to like film the whole project?
We filmed it in probably like 8 months. Chop, like start and then stop because everyone, is busy with their life and we were all trying to kind of like make it happen. But in entirety, it took like 3 years.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, a lot of work is compared to where, you've been on projects with like studios, big studios where it's kind of like they got a million things going on. But this was, like you said, it was just you and your friends kind of, working on this. And there's a lot that goes into, to making
So much,
films that I feel a lot
so
of
much.
people don't realize, maybe looking from the outside, into it.
Yeah, no, totally. It takes a village.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean?
So, what makes Ryan J. Sloan stand out as far as like a director for you, and just what was the experience of getting to work with him like?
You know, he's a really cool guy, and I feel like a lot of times directors, they're kind of like almost scary figures to work with, right?
That can be intimidating, yeah.
Yeah, they could be like intimidating. But with Ryan, it's like he has this like empathic quality to him where he never like it always just feels like a gentle suggestion as opposed to like an order. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
yeah, and he's just a really cool guy. Like in general, we're friends. So
Yeah,
cool. It was really like a pleasure to work with him, to be honest.
and
One of like the most chill environments I've been on.
I feel like that. I mean, that just makes it a lot, easier too when you have someone like that where you can just go to him with anything, and it's like, like, oh, like, am I bothering him by, asking like a question about like this scene or something like that? And then you
Exactly.
said, so were you were friends with him like prior to working on this?
Yeah, so I'm actually friends with the lead, Ariella. We met in acting class, so we were in this acting class for a few years together, and Ryan is actually her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like the circle.
That's really
That's
cool that yeah, there's just a bunch of buddies
what
that
I'm
got
trying to say.
to work on this thing. So yeah, I mean, I like I said, man, I
Like
can't
a
wait.
one in a million story, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
and
never
just
happened.
like you said, to get picked up by one of the biggest festivals too. So it's like, yeah, I can only imagine like the level of excitement for all of you guys, for coming in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and the film, and Ryan and Ariella just got picked up by UTA. So, sky's the limit, I guess, at this point with this
Yeah,
one.
congratulations to all of you guys, as far as like that goes. Do you have any favorite memories about working on the film that kind of stick out to you that come to mind?
Um,
I imagine the whole process was probably a
the
lot of
whole
fun.
process was cool, but there was this one time where we were working on this shot and these cops pulled up. And they were like blocking our shot. So like I went up to them and I was like tried to convince them. Well, I did convince them to please leave us because I was like, this for a student film and like my grade, this is our final and we just need like 5 minutes. It was like, white lies, but
Yeah.
that was probably like the most out of
Hey,
pocket.
you got to do what you got to do.
Pulled out like my PBA card. I was like, look, my uncle's a cop, like
That's
please.
funny. What did they like kind of
Yeah,
laugh?
yeah, they moved. They laughed and they moved. They were like, all right, you guys got 10 minutes or like whatever.
Oh, well, that's awesome. So at least, they were, nice about it and were let you guys, kind of,
Oh, they were totally nice about it, but it was just funny how it all went down because like we needed that shot, you know what I mean?
you're just like, oh, come on, like we just got to finish this one thing. I mean, as far as like projects too, because you've done a number of different things in your career, like already. Every project is a learning experience. So what is something that you learned from working on this project that you feel will help you moving forward with the rest of your career in acting?
I mean, really just kind of being ready for anything at any moment.
Yep.
It's- You know what I mean? I know that's like very vague, but it's kind of specific too at the same time because it's like, you have your character, you're in character, but then like anything can change.
Yep.
But then you're still responsible for your work. You know what I mean? And just kind of like dealing with it because since obviously it was just us doing it, everyone kind of pitched in to do a lot of things that maybe you would normally do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like you all probably had a number where it was just kind of like a small cast and crew working on this thing that you guys all had multiple roles on the project. So I'm sure that'll probably help you too, where it's like doing some of those different roles that maybe you've never done on other projects in the past. Going
totally.
forward with some of these other ones, you'll have that background.
Not only that, like for my own projects, like so I'm an avid writer. So I'm right now currently working on two projects and working on these smaller things kind of like shows you, I say smaller, it's obviously turned into a huge deal, but I'm saying working on a thing where it's like you and your like small group um kind of lays like a roadmap
Yep.
for you mentally. So like seeing how he did it, I picked up a lot of stuff, so now I could try to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know I think it'll definitely be useful for you working, like I said, just like you have to do multiple different things and you have to be ready, like you said, for anything to change because working on these independent projects,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, where the those cops like pulled up and you guys had to be like, all right, we got to get this shot, so we gotta, or even, I mean, weather can change like last minute. You got to get creative with some of these different things. So I feel like
Yeah,
we'll just help you be ready for multiple different situations in the future.
totally. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, GAZER. So we've talked about it that it's getting its big premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. So what are your plans for that? And just like when it gets like a wider release, do you have like family that are going to be coming out to watch it, or what's kind of your plans?
No, it's just me and my cast and crew. I'm really taking it moment by moment. It's like just happening like in front of me in real time.
Yeah,
So but yeah, I'm really excited to go out there. There's some other films that I really want to see as well. But yeah, my team's just setting things up for me, events and whatnot, press and stuff. But
yeah.
that's pretty much the
Have you gotten a chance to do like other festivals in the past, or is this kind of like your first like
oh,
big
this is
one?
my first one.
Oh, so I mean, that'll be exciting. Yeah, just to kind of get an
Yeah.
experience of the whole festival experience for yourself.
Yeah. Like I've never been to a festival and now I'm going to like the biggest festival.
Yeah, let's talk about going from like 0 to 60 real quick.
100%. This is what this experience has been for me. Just like going 0 to 100, like out of nowhere.
Well, hey man, just like I said, or like you said, just take the time to enjoy it. I mean, you guys obviously put in a lot of time and work into this thing, so it's like, be proud of the project, and now you get to share it with, a big group of people at the festival.
Totally. And it's just like really exciting. It's like surreal. But it's like, like a proud moment as well.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you said, it took like what you said, like it was like up to 3 years that it took to kind of complete the project. So I mean,
But also just like the fact that we're almost like the little engine that could, in the sense of like we're, a lot of these other projects are like super funded or like studio backing
yep.
and you know what I mean? And like here we are, like a
And you're
group
right
from
there with them.
Jersey and New York. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's like just something that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun like it sounds like a fun, underdog story, you guys like being
Super,
there.
yeah.
So like I
Like a
said, man,
David and Goliath moment or something.
I'm excited to check it out. I love checking out, these especially like, first projects from directors or just like, actors and stuff in general. It's always kind of fun to see where someone starts off and like, later down the road you're like, yeah, I remember when that first project, came out from them. Um
Yeah, this is actually Ryan's first film.
it is wow. Again, talk about like going so first film and you guys are going to, big festivals. So Um, as far as like, do you have like right now, do you have any plans? I know trying to focus on this obviously in the moment, but like after Gazer's done, do you have any other projects that you're able to talk about, or just kind of like what's next for
I
you
mean,
after?
I'm working on two projects myself. I could talk about them. So I one of them is a pilot. It's a crime drama set in the 80s. It's actually based off a true story. And it's about the organized crime scene in the in like Upper Manhattan in the 1980s, and how it was really the organization of that kind of crossed a lot of cultural boundaries, and how they all work together in a nutshell. And then I'm working on a feature which is like a romance, but it's also set in a crime dramery way. It's somewhere between like Bronx Tale and Carlito's Way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool. And I'm really excited about those too. I wrote both of them, and we're just starting, like, there's a million things to do, but like
Oh
I
yeah.
guess we could say we're in pre-production.
Yep. Okay. Well, it sounds like you got some very, very exciting stuff. I mean, the next couple weeks, but the next like couple years as well.
Yeah.
To wrap things up, is there anything else that you would like to say, about the film Gazer, and just where can fans keep up to date with you and all your future projects?
Yeah, I mean, you could totally find me on Instagram. My handle is my name spelled out. So it's Frankie, Franky, Huerta, Huerta. And that's my Instagram handle. That's pretty much where I'm most active. So everyone can definitely check me out there. And I post pretty regularly. So they
Perfect.
can keep up to date with whatever I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no, I'll make sure to include that down below in the description for you guys so that way you can, go give him a follow and keep up to date with all his work. Thank Frank, just want to say thank you so much, for your time today. It was great getting to, get to know you a little bit and just talking about, your upcoming projects and good luck, with the next couple weeks and just take the time to enjoy it. And you're welcome back anytime in the future, man.
Thanks, Pat. I'm so happy that you had me here. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're very welcome,
Your
man.
vibe, man. I like your vibe.
Thank you.
Guys, my name is Frank Huerta. I play Eddie and Gazer, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.